Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna. We'll get started. Okay. So quick prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhana Swami Namo. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namo. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Chanya. Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Destanya. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gauravani. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we'll continue the topic of reviving love. So last week we discussed some of the up to 7th page we studied. We'll just quickly revise. Reviving love is the topic. So reviving love is the topic. So we discussed that every jiva wants to love and be loved. That is the natural dharma of the primary quality of living entity. Whether it is an animal or human, doesn't matter. Everybody's natural property is to love and serve. And then we discussed about complete love and incomplete love. So complete love, first incomplete love is when people try to express love within this world. For example, I love my family or my country, but I still eat animal flesh, for example, right? So that is incomplete love because that is not full expression of love. Right? So only when we love God can we love truly everybody, every living entity. So that is, we can realize true love, or we can do complete love only if we love God. Only when God is at the center can we truly express love. Then, yeah. So when you love God, you can love God. Otherwise, you may love dog, but you may kill cow. Mudra, are you seeing the screen? Right?
Yes, I'm seeing the screen. I'll come there, but I'll be online for some time.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So and then, why should I love God? Right? Because everything we live by is provided by God. The air, the water that we need, the food we need is all provided by nature. Nobody else can create it, manufacture it anywhere. So it is just an expression of gratitude. Love means what? First is expression of gratitude. So that's why we should love God. Right? And then we discussed about the 3 classes of people: atheists, pious, and the devotees of God. A lot of people, especially in India, are pious. They go to temple, but primarily going to temple is a ritual, and the only thing they do is ask for more. I want, cure this disease, or that's the only thing they do. It's more or less like a business, right? I give you a coconut and you give me good marks. Something like that. So that is not, true expression of love. You have faith in God, but again, it's more like transactional with God. Nobody likes somebody, you have a good friend, but every time he only asks something from you. He says you are nice, I like to come and sit with you, but only thing is I only ask you. Nobody likes to have such a relation, right? Forever. So Even God also wants to have loving relation. He is a person like you and me. He's a complete person, unlike us. He's a Purna Purushottam. We are like, minute living entity. But he also has heart. He has feelings, just like us. So only when we love truly, truly become happy. Is God attractive only to some and not to others? No, God is attractive to all. We get attracted to anybody in this world because they have some quality of in God in some quantity. We get attracted to a person who is famous because but the owner of all fame is God. The owner of all beauty is God. Owner of all strength is God. So everything, owner of all control is God, right? He is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. So God is naturally the most attractive, but unfortunately, we forgot our connection with God. That's why we don't have the desire to love God, right? So otherwise, we would be loving God, right? So everybody is attracted to something only because of some quality of God being partly present in them. God is the supreme controller. And then we discussed how God is a person, right? A lot of people have this idea, oh, if we make God as a person, then is God not becoming limited? You have heard this argument. If God is also like a person like me, then God is limited just like me, right? But God is not a person like us, right? God can be in one place, but he can control everything, right? Just like sun is in one place. Is sun not lighting the whole universe, not just this planet? He lights up the whole universe. So similarly, God is in one place, but his energies are spread all over, and he can manage and maintain, control everything through his various energies. So that is the understanding, right? So we understand that God has a brain and God has heart. He's a man of heart and a man of head. So man of head, how you can say, because there is so much organization in this world. You can see how organized the planets move, how organized the day and night set. Everything is so organized. So that is how we understand. God has brain, and then God has heart. You can see the beauty in this world. The chirping birds, the beautiful animals, and the beautiful flowers. There are so many qualities in each of them, right? So we can see that God is not just a man of heart, also a man of heart. And then many people wonder, oh, how Krishna is just a coward boy herding cows. How can he be God? Right? Many people, even Brahma has that question, and he tested Krishna. Right? How do you answer that? How do you answer? How God can be so simple? He's eating from the hands of other boys like him, and he's sometimes getting defeated in the games, carrying the boys on the back. Yes. He's caring about everybody. Yes. Okay.
Where he's with the focus and playing and having fun and reciprocating their emotion of having part as a friend.
Yeah.
So he wants to keep with them, wants to play with them.
Yeah. Just like, we all want to have friends and have a loving relationship with them. God is a person like us. And so he would also, so he's Krishna, especially the form of God, is a person at home. Just like a prime minister, when he's at home, do you see people saluting him? No, right? At his home, he might be in a lungi also. And may not wear a shirt also, right? At home, he's free. And he might be carrying his grandson on the back, right? So that is God at home. So Vrindavan is a place where God feels at home. He has the most loving people around him, like his family, right? All his gopas, they're all eternal associates of Lord. So the expression of what we perceive as God in Krishna in Vrindavan is the form that God at home. Just like any great person can be different at home versus office. While Vishnu, the way we worship in Balaji temple, any of the Narasimha temple, that is like God at office with his full powers, right? So like the predominator. Right? So we worship him as a king. So a king in office is different from king at home. King in office is worship. There is a protocol. You can only say so much, right? There is a way of expressing what you say. So all the protocols are followed. So similarly, there are Vedic mantras to worship, Lord in certain temples like Balaji temple. There is a procedure. There is Agama Shastras that specify how exactly to persort God. Right. So that is God at office or right God on duty. So God at home is Krishna. Right? He is like chill. Does Rama carry something, but does Krishna carry anything? He just carries a flute and always chill. So that is God at home. Yeah. So another reason here we also is discussed, is God personal or impersonal? The answers are, behind impersonal government there is a PM. Similarly, behind all energy is God. The energetic must be personal and not impersonal, right? So there must be energy and energetic in anything. So there are energies and energy. Just like there is sun's energy spread all over, and also the sun, the source of all that, right? So similarly, when we see everything orderliness, there must be this orderliness that is an exhibition of energy of God, right? So it's just like there are hundreds of buildings of Microsoft here, but there is one original owner, a controller, right? So there is a person and also his impersonal energies. So similarly, there cannot be just impersonal everything. Just like government cannot be, we cannot say government is, doing everything without a person being there who is the overall, controller of that government. Like just like a president here is the controller of the government, right? So there is cabinet ministry and whole machinery of people who would serve it, but there must be a person also behind everything. So that is the understanding. So God is personal, right? Yeah, so God is so this is the argument by many Mayavadis. God is impersonal because he cannot be limited by form like ordinary human beings. Yeah. God is not like a human being, like an ordinary person who is limited to his own body. Even though he is in one place, his energies are spread all over. So God is personal because he cannot be an ultimate controller without a brain. Yeah. So there must be brain behind everything. So he's personal. So a person with head and heart has to be a person, not impersonal. Yeah, is also correct. A and C and D are correct. So I think here is where we stopped. So this we already discussed. Yes. Take the mic.
So you feel like this reasoning is not very convincing that we see energetic behind every energy that we see. That's why God also exists. Is there
God also is person. Yeah.
yeah, is there any other way to understand this? Because one thing is being learned from the Shastra that God is a person and we theoretically accept it. But when talking to others or when ourselves feeling we don't, at least I feel that I don't practically or like I'm convinced about it.
Yeah. So we accept Shastra as the guiding force, but then when we chant, that conviction develops. How Krishna is God. Yeah. So it's not going to be. It takes some purification, but we'll realize that. So it has to be an experiential thing. So when we see personal intervention of God in our life in certain situations, we may not see at that time. That is how we develop that conviction that Krishna is a person. Very early in my Krishna consciousness, I had one experience that really made me convinced. So I was, I joined company Samsung, and within few months, I was very new, like relatively chanting like 2 rounds or so at the time. So Korea, we had to travel to Korea. Samsung means they send always to Korea, and I had to go, and literally, there is no temple, no anything there. But I had the desire. I was already convinced, to practice Krishna consciousness. I was living with it, association of devotees. I was literally hopeless of getting prasadam or any association there. But I was guided very well. Just that I had that sincere desire that I may stay Krishna conscious to the possible, in the most possible way. So immediately, it was a trip of like 3-4 weeks. There was an arrangement for an altar, like a single photograph with all the pictures of all the deities and Prabhupada and everything. Some devotee gave an idea about that, and then some other devotee gave an idea of prasadam, having some dry prasadam for 2-3 weeks. Somebody helped with that. So looking at all of that, I felt just having that sincere desire, Krishna arranges. So how is that possible? Right? Suddenly, I was initially convinced, it's not going to happen, and I'll just eat whatever some vegetarian food available there. But just by having some sincere desire at that time, I'm very new there, like almost 20 years ago. There was arrangement. So I felt convinced that if you have some sincere desire, Krishna will manifest. Later on, I realized, this is a Krishna's arrangement. We don't realize that immediately, right? Okay, devotees are there, they helped me, I thought initially. But so you will connect the dots as your life proceeds. That's how your conviction builds. Yeah, it is through experience. It's not by logic. It will never be by logic. You will see through your own personal experiences how God is very personal and God is very loving. Many times we face challenges and then it will be solved easily. You can see God's hand behind it. Something very tough by your karma, you get through it, but then you will have a lot of support in that whole process. Immediately we not see it. Sometimes you feel it like such a pain, why I had to go through this. But then in the bigger picture, you'll see, oh, that is the right thing that happened to me at the time. Right? So recently I was telling, so before this classroom, we used to, did I tell that? Yeah. So we used to do a program near university camp, what is it called? University Heights. Yeah. So at one time we didn't get the room when we needed. And then we were searching like crazy, like how do we get that, right? And then finally somehow we were led to this place. But this is such a good place for the same price or even less. This is so much better for our organization, right? So that is definitely Krishna's intervention we feel. So you can have, it's like more like a classroom environment. It's a small thing, but we can see how it is God's hand. So like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just giving an example, like, like the difference between like the other god and like, so that's like, that makes sense to differentiate between like how it different between Krishna and other god. But it's like the term which we use like personal and personal, like if it is personal, like then like whether we can't see anywhere, like anywhere, right?
we can see like, okay, in form of energy or in form of like some like sensation or something like that, but we can't see everywhere so
Yeah,
how, like the world like
how we can, okay, yeah. Yes, just like, suppose you want to meet Prime Minister, can we get immediately the access to meeting Prime Minister? It takes some process. So,
can see that somebody can like somebody see
Yeah.
can like be, even though like it can't be, but we can see from somewhere. Okay,
yes,
somebody is
yes.
there.
Somebody has seen, right? At least. Yeah, similarly, there are many saints who had direct realization of God. I mean, it is up to us whether to believe that or not. And, so like, for example, Prabhupada had many certain, many incidents of direct experience. We may not be at that level, but there are people with the direct experience. There are many saints in Vrindavan like that. So, for us to get that level, right? So it may take some process. Like you are already in the process of chanting and developing reviving your love. So when we get to a certain state, then we can have that experience. Now, just like today, tomorrow, I want to meet Prime Minister. It's not possible. I need to develop some personal relation with him, right? So then I can meet him. But that there is a process for that. So the process is Bhakti Yoga, which we are all following already.
Meeting somebody is different.
Yes. Even that conviction also develops over time. It's not going to be, okay, flip of a second, for many millions of life, we have forgotten God. So there is a process of revival. So when it is an incremental thing. So when the first day you came, it's different. Your knowledge is increasing and now you're also practicing. So with all this together, slowly it will revive. And it is the experience of many saints. It's not that we are saying for the first time here. Great acharyas like Ramanuja, Madhva, Nimbarka, Vishnu Swami, Chaitanya. This is the experience of all great saintly people who all had the direct experience of God, right? We're all on the path. Even nowadays also there are many. They may not be visible to us, they may not be before us. And we can also be in that because it's the experience of many, many saints. And in small ways, we can have, like I was talking about certain incidents, we can see the hand of God, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. Go ahead. You want to take the mic?
I was in Chennai for this platform. Then one of my friends came to the temple with me, and then he was also very curious as to like why we do deity worship, where's God? Similar questions like how can you see God and all. So I was just telling him that first to like from what I have learned from other devotees, one you should have the right bhava, because when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, where's God? Where's God? He says like it's everywhere. So with devotees mercy, you can show like even a pillar, you can get the blessings to see God. So the joke he is speaking is like, where can you see God? So is it really true you can see anywhere? So I was telling him this story, and then I came back for work. And 3 weeks later, he actually showed me a picture. When he was in the beach in Chennai, Jagannath floated like randomly, a random Jagannath deity floated onto his between his legs out of nowhere. And then I told him, yes, this is how actually Jagannath also came to Puri, where in Daru form he floated in the river and came. So you're saying that, actually that past time we heard a week before in the temple where the Maharaj was explaining about Jagannath's advent, about how after so many years he came in the Daru form. So even you were saying, yes, I agree that when you have devotees mercy, you can see Lord like but there's no reason why an actual deity floated in the Chennai beach, like randomly next to him where he was standing. And he didn't know that was Jagannath. Then only remember we saw it in ISKCON temple. In 3 weeks, he could actually get the synopsis. Yes. And you get to see that because you are having the blessing of.
So, Ravi, yeah, we can discuss this further. I mean, we can, in person, I think we can discuss more, okay? So whether the question is whether God is person or in person or beyond that? Yeah, I mean, yeah, so God is a person because many people have direct personal experience. Right? And I said, like, it's an experiential science. It's not an experimental science. We're all used to experimental science. Or do this experiment, you get this result right away. And that is all physical. Now, this is meta and metaphysical, right? This is spiritual. So this comes through, you only get these experiences, over a period of time. As we develop our own practices, right? The yoga part. So there is both knowledge and the realization part comes only through practice, yoga. So when we have these going together, so some of these questions we may not feel comfortable 100% right away with the statements of scripture, but if we have some basic faith to begin and continue on that path, just like so gravity, we all accepted G equal to 9.8, right? We didn't question our teacher right away and prove me that really it is 9.8. But as you grow, you may get to do that experiment and see for yourself what that truth is, what that law is actually. It may take some time for certain things to digest and realize. So we accept the scripture and with some basic examples we try to understand in the beginning, right? So, yeah. So goal of human life, dharma, and real occupation duty. So now let's continue reading. So maybe a couple of girls can read this time. Yeah. So from here you can read. Sham is one and Ram is another person. Yeah.
Human life is not meant for resting like cats and dogs, simply eating, sleeping. You can see in the early morning these parrots, they are dancing, chirping, and they have no eating, sleeping, or making problems. Immediately they will go to some tree and they will find out some different fruits. They will eat. They also have their mates. They never went to a school or college to earn a degree to get their food or meals. On the other hand, man spends all his life searching after the bread, degree to get their food or meals. On the other hand, man spends all his life searching after bread, enjoying sleeping and recreation, forgetful of God, although eating, sleeping, making facilities are all already arranged by God for all. Therefore, dharma means the regulative principle which is given to the human society by God to all become liberated from the cycle of birth and death and go back to God.
Yeah. So human form is very special, as you have already heard about it. So these animals, even though the element is very big like elephant, they never have hunger problem. They eat almost like 30 kilos a day. An elephant eats 30 kilos of green, either leaves or grass. It's a vegetarian again. But food is arranged somehow in the nature. It never worries about its stomach problem. So as humans, we also should not just worry about our stomach. Right? That's what many people are stuck with most of the time. Oh, will I have job security and all, right? So that is solved even for the living entities at a very basic level. Like all the animals, whoever it is, they never die of hunger. There is natural. So just like when a baby is born, he doesn't need to worry about it. The food is arranged by parents. So similarly, for all our living, God has already perfectly arranged, right? So we just need to practice what is our true dharma, right? What is our true nature? What is our core characteristic of living entity, the soul? To serve and love. You want to serve because you love, right? And right now we are expressing that love in so many things. But our core love is actually towards God. That is expressed on dog or the other person or this person, that person. But actually that craving for love is truly completely satisfied when it is expressed on God. That is the core principle. We don't have that relation right now, right? We don't feel that love for God right now. Today I wake up, I don't remember God immediately, right? Because that's not our, the on top of mind for us right now. But when we revive love, when we understand, the relationship with, what is the relation with God to me, right? When we remember in gratitude, slowly we will revive love. But we can only be truly satisfied when we love and serve God. Right? So that is the principle. So dharma means the regulative principle which is given to the human society by God to solve, become liberated from the cycle of birth, death, and go back to Godhead. So especially human form of life is special because in this you have the privilege of questioning. That's why we got PhD degrees. Because you have the ability to question things, that which doesn't exist in any other form of life, right? So using that privilege to be able to inquire, to question, you're solving some problems right now to get a job or something, to move forward in your research. But ideally, that inquiry, that questioning nature should be applied to understand the truth of life, and to actually connect with God. So that is, and solve the real problems of life. What are the real problems of life? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. These are the real problems of life, right? So use your real, your special prerogative as a human to actually solve those 4 real problems, to get out of cycle of birth and death. Yeah, Ram.
Dharma is not a type of faith or belief. Some say that they belong to Christianity, others claim that they are Hindus.
Dharma means the occupational duty. Dharma is not a sentiment. Practically nowadays, people have taken dharma as religious or a kind of faith, but that is not the description of the Vedic Shastra. Faith you can change. Today you are Hindu, tomorrow you can become Muslim. Or today you are Muslim, tomorrow you can become Christian. You can change your faith, but that is not religion. Dharma means your occupational duty, which you cannot change. Whether you belong to Hindu, Muslim, Christian faith, your propensity to love and serve is your dharma, and that can never be stopped. Serve we must, God or dog. That is explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jivera Swarup for Nitya Krishna Das. Our real business, our real occupation is to serve Krishna, God. Because we have forgotten God or Krishna, we are serving somebody else. That is called Maya. We have to serve. Nobody can say that I do not serve anyone, I am free. That is not possible, and that service to God is called dharma.
So in Krishna consciousness, we don't ask to accept things as in faith, just like in Christianity or Islam, right? So we want to revive the core property of the living entity. That propensity is to love and serve, and express it on the Almighty God, right? Krishna, who is the proprietor of all the capabilities, right? All the energies. So that's the whole idea. So your propensity to love and serve is innate to you, is your dharma, and that can never be stopped. Serve you must, whether God or dog. And the problem with us is we forgot that relation with God. The whole idea of coming here is to revive that relationship, right? Because we have forgotten God or Krishna, we are serving somebody else. Right? Yeah. Is love for God a feeling or more than that? Is just a feeling or is more than that? Right? So now again, Ram.
I've been thinking that love means a feeling. Can I just feel love and devotion to God in my heart? Is it necessary to do some service?
Because a lot of people ask, we also love God, we don't need to go and chant, we don't need to do, we don't need to attend classes. We love God, हमारे दिल में है सब ऐसे no, a lot of people say that. Yeah, Shyam.
And there is the passive love without service. Imagine if your father said, "Son, I love you very much. Thank you for studying engineering, but I can't give you college fee, mess fee, exam fee. Don't ask for fee. Allow me to be free." What kind of love is that? Imagine a man tells his wife, "I love you very much, but I can't give you sarees, ornaments, house to live, and food to eat." How can that love be considered love without service to the beloved? God loves all of us, therefore we can see how He does so much for us by giving sunlight, moonlight, rain, fruits, grains, cereals, etc., even for His atheistic children. And to those who love Him and serve Him like you, who has taken out time to join such devotional festivals like this, He gives the wisdom to return back home back to God.
Plain and clear. So we all cannot, some people, so these are all, clarifying some of the questions that people have, or, people may ask you also, right? So, because we are receiving so many things, just expressing love is, is not bad. So we can easily see that everyone in this world is engaged in some form of service, right? Everybody is engaged. Nobody can say, I am not engaged in service. Whether he's a president, he has to serve his people. So nobody is free from service, right? Everybody has to serve in this world. An old man whose wife has passed away, his children are married and settled abroad, has no companion to express his love and service. Still, he gets a pet dog and shows his love by caressing, right? We all see the expression of love. One has to express his love on something. You cannot stay away from them. Yeah. So if you go on searching in the spirit, it will be seen that all over the world, that everyone is engaged in expressing love and service to someone. Yeah. Not only humans, even a tiger or lion, which are generally considered ferocious by nature, even they love their cubs and express love for them and serve them by caring for them. We all see that, right? So love is not simply a passive experience, Ram. Love implies action. When we love someone, we feel impelled to do something to please him. When we love God and serve him, our love becomes complete, exactly like watering the root of a tree nourishes the whole tree. And putting food in our belly nourishes all limbs of our body. Right? Suppose you have a gulab jamun in one hand. Can this hand become happy by grabbing it from here? No, they cannot. They can exchange, but they'll never be happy. But when the hand supplies the gulab jamun to the tongue, the whole body is nurtured and satisfied, right? So similarly, the center part is the stomach for the whole body. When you supply food to the stomach, all the bodily limbs are satisfied. But individually, no parts can individually satisfy. So similarly, when you water the root of the tree, all the branches, flowers, twigs, and everything is, gets nourished. But if you water a leaf or a flower, will it satisfy? No. So similarly, serving anything else will give you some satisfaction. You may serve, your neighbor. That is good. But along with that, you should also serve God. That is your primary source of service, the highest source of service, right?
Everybody is loving and serving somebody. It is an undeniable fact. I'm grateful to you, Shyam, for your simple yet beautiful explanation on so many important aspects of my relationship with Lord Krishna. Where do you get such deep understanding?
If you read Srila Prabhupada's books regularly, you will get this knowledge even more better than me, Ram. I know the
Yeah. So, by the way, there is some program to read for like 15-20 minutes every day. We are doing it. We're starting it next Monday. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of it. Yeah. So now let's answer these questions. What is the goal of human life in comparison to birds, cats, and dogs? First one. Humans should take advantage of eating and sleeping from nature as other animals do easily. No. Then we are no better than animals. Humans can easily solve bread problem by following the dharma of praying to God for bread. No. Bread is already sanctioned. You don't need to worry about that. As soon as you are born, your arrangements are made. Human life is meant for solving the real problems of life: birth, old age, disease, and death. That's correct. Human life is for dharma, the regulative principles to transcend birth and death and go back to Godhead. It's also correct. Yeah. So what is dharma? Yeah. The answers are: dharma is a sentiment, belief, and faith that I am a Hindu and I'm or a Christian. No. Dharma is the core characteristics of the soul, the jiva. That is to serve and love. Dharma is the occupation duty of the soul in relation to God. That's correct. Occupation duty of the soul in relation to God. So we all have two duties: Parao dharma, aparao dharma. So because you have this physical body, you have the duty to maintain the body within this world for however long you live, say 70 years or 80 years. You need to maintain your body, and you have parents who have taken care of you. You have to take care of them. You have a family, you have children to educate. You have relatives whom you have to help. So those are all material duties. We're all responsible for it. Right? So that is called horizontal relations. We need to satisfy. Those are horizontal duties also. They are called paro dharma. Right? And then there is aparo dharma. Aparo dharma means our vertical relation. We also have a connection with God. Being the Supreme Father, he is also, we're also connected directly to him. Right? As a soul, you're not just this body, you're also the soul. So you have connection with the super soul or God, Paramatma. So your duties towards that, Paramatma, is called aparo dharma. So that is what this occupation duty is we're talking. Dharma, that dharma is what we are referring to. Dharma is the occupation duty of the soul in relation to God. Yeah. So irrespective of whether one is Hindu or Muslim or Christian, dharma is our innate propensity to love and serve God. Yeah. So when Prabhupada would meet, Christians who are following whatever, the principles of Christianity, he would encourage them to continue that, but understand that the true purpose of, whatever faith they're following is to serve and love God. So unless that is prominent in the process that you follow, then you are missing the whole point. Right? So he would encourage them to be sincere Christian. He would say, I am true Christian because I am actually following the original teachings of Jesus. Right? One of the commandments given by Jesus is love thy God with all thy heart and all thy mind. Means with all your heart and mind, you should love God. So that principle we are following. So we are actually true Christians. So it's not about a faith. It's about whether you are truly following the core teachings. Dharma means to be religious, pious, and believe in being good and doing good. No, it's not just being good and doing good. Right? You don't even know what is really good sometimes. Yeah. What is love of God? There is a kind of devotional feeling associated with tears and submission. No, it's not about sentiment. It's not at all sentiment. So it is the service rendered with devotion by a soul to express his love for God. Yeah, that is correct. It is service rendered to poor, handicapped, and needy people, considering them to be God. No. Jiva will remain Jiva, will never become God. Loving all humans, especially seeing God smile in poor people. No. That is charity. Charity is good, but we should not limit at that level. We should see the divinity in the people before you serve. Without that, what happens is you become falsely prestigious. I am able to serve people as if you are something big. So that is also dangerous because that is a false ego, right? So you'll accumulate karma. Again, to clear that, you have to take a birth and enjoy for whatever you have given, so-called charity. So even that disposition is not good. Whatever we are giving to others, where are you getting from? God. So you should acknowledge that, right? So if you acknowledge that, then you're actually seeing actual, charity, doing actual charity.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a
Yes,
question. Archit here.
yes, please.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, on this 10th question, if someone is serving other people, maybe the poor and needy, and with the intent of that service is that, they are serving to the God, uh, wouldn't that be considered as love of God?
Yes, it is. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not wrong. So if you have the right understanding, you can do everything. But many people think, I am this rich person who is able to serve people, and they are needy people. But actually, poverty is not defined by the physical resources. Poverty is actually defined by how poor you are in your love for God, frankly speaking. That is the true poverty.
Got it. Thank you, Prabhuji. And also, on the same lines, we have seen a lot of time in movies and that, there are villains or people who are not doing just things for the betterment of society, but still they might be successful in their plans or they show that they achieve whatever they want. Them also, they show that they are very religious, but doing for the wrong acts. So in that case, again, their love of God is there, but maybe their intentions, according to the worldly norms, are not what we consider to be noble, right?
Correct.
Still, they would be able to achieve. So how, I mean,
So, whatever we achieve in this world as of today is not based on what we do right now. It is because of prarabdha karma, what was already destined for him before he is even born, right? So we are a soul that is going through many, many lifetimes. It's not today. So whoever are, the richest people in this world as of today, it is not just simply the hard work of this lifetime. It is an accumulation of pious credits of past lives. So as long as they have it, they have the ability to enjoy those credits, right? So for example, you have a bad crop this year, but in the last 3 years you had good crop, and you are accumulating all your crop in a big godown, for example, right? Every year, whatever crop you're getting, you're pouring on the top. But for your consumption, you're taking from the bottom. So last 3 years you did, you had a lot of good crop, good grains. So you're pouring all of that. In this particular year, you got very bad crop. You're pouring bad, but still you're getting good from bottom. You see how it works?
yeah.
So that is how karma works. So just because somebody is having good doesn't mean that it will continue to be, favorable to him for a long time. Karma will catch up.
Okay.
Just a matter of time.
Got it. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions? Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is an interesting exercise. So there are multiple answers, but I would like you to all go through this. So these are situation tackling exercises. This is a exercise, meaning you read through it and you all can answer based on your understanding, right? So we'll discuss multiple answers. So one of your friends, Mr. Goody, his name is Mr. Goody, says that the dharma I follow is to be good, do good, and don't harm anyone. This is good enough. No need to study all this big philosophy, Bhagavad Gita or anything, right? So what would you tell him to inspire him to come to your Gita class program? Okay, let's maybe as a group, girls can discuss for a couple of minutes. Boys can discuss and come up with some answer. Maybe all the girls in the back line can take a couple of minutes. Maybe each row can be, other than girls, maybe each row can discuss, right? Mr. Goody, how do you convince him? I'm doing good, why should I pray to God? You want to maybe a little bit move this so that they can. You see, there are multiple answers. There's no like one perfect answer. There are multiple answers. You can also give some examples, from. Main point is don't hurt the ego of the guy. Huh? Okay. Okay, please answer maybe Mataji's or girls. So no need to be, give the perfect answer. Just whatever thoughts multiple people can say. Couple of you. Take the mic. Yeah.
One point is, because I follow is because we actually don't know what is good. So even if we try to do good, like helping a poor person, we might use it for buying drugs or something. So we at first don't know what is good.
Yeah, that's a good answer. But the only thing is he'll say, I know good, I'm convinced what I'm doing is good. That's the answer he may give.
Here analogy I want to use is of a deceased person. So if you want to go and help a deceased person, you need to know what exactly is the disease. So it can be different for different people. So like Bhagavad Gita is kind of a medical study to find the disease and the solution to that disease.
Okay, but he says I don't have time. You can read, but I'm okay without that. Yeah, it's good answer, but the only thing is he has no interest. He has no time.
Generally, what is good? The definition of good is
He doesn't.
different.
His
If you're
definition is
you can do it for one day, right? You went and you fed him,
Yeah.
he's happy.
Correct.
What is the solution for his permanent happiness?
What is the solution for permanent happiness? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
And so
Yeah, that should help a little bit. Okay. Any other answer? Any other ideas?
Alright, so, building some depth along those lines, it's always a specific thing, right? So, might not be doing good, it can be always good. It's always situational specific and looking more of long term. And having faith and patience, right, is also important. So those things we can only get or build in terms of like reading scriptures or learning about those, right, or hearing more about and so forth. So I just found it too easy to simplify it.
Yes, that is true. But yeah, he may not be convinced by that. That's the only challenge with that. Yeah. Anything else? Huh? Okay. Maybe voice.
Prabhuji,
Yeah, Archit.
yeah. So what I would see is that
Archit is
Mr.
there.
Good, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay, okay. So I'm saying that the person is already doing good things, right, Mr. Goody? But I would try to basically generate a curiosity in the person. So I would ask question to the person that, hey, imagine, let's say you're faced with a dilemma whether doing good might not be very straightforward. Let's say maybe you need to make a decision at work where that could benefit the company but might hurt a colleague's opportunity. So how do you choose between helping two, or how do you choose between helping two friends with conflicting needs? What do you do in that situations? And sometimes the person would try to justify an answer, or they might say I don't know the answer. Then I would try to give them examples that, let's say Gita gives one of the examples that it tells you to focus on making a decision based on what aligns with your roles responsibility or for the larger good. So when you're having those dilemmas or conflicting issues, even though you're doing good things, Gita would add you or act as a supplement and help you answer those.
Very nice. Very nice. Actually, this is very good answer. Basically, you are trying to show how Gita would add to his goodness, right? So that is what
Yeah.
people expect. They don't want to be cut down. That's the main thing. When we speak to others, we should never try to cut what good they are doing. At least they feel now you are hurting his feelings. Why would he even turn to you? Right? So what Archit answered is a very good answer, right? So now you want to be good, but to maintain goodness, to understand what is really good, how do you know what is really good? For example, Arjuna was also confused in the battlefield. He knows all the dharma, but still he needed some guidance of God or a guru, or a good friend who knows the scripture. So that is how we should answer. That's a good one. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else here? Boys, yeah. Take the mic.
So probably we had a analogy, so God will put forth the question to Goody, hey, like you're going to follow all the traffic rules and you're going to keep driving following all the signals, all the directions of where you're going.
Mhm.
So the Gita is like
Mm.
your map, your destination.
Okay, that is the main answer. Yeah. Okay,
So-
go ahead.
It doesn't matter if you keep doing good, if you don't know where you're going. So Gita will give you the path back about it, with the right answer.
No, he may not have the faith of Godhead again.
Then you can convince him.
No, yeah. Yeah, but still, it's on the right direction, the answer. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Right.
I should put any arguments to him.
Mhm.
If I start like giving explanations about Gita, then he would be, his ego would like blast and he would not even come to the class. What I would do is, I would show him, like, I would tell him that we have very wonderful prasadam. And we also do lots of kirtan, which
Yeah.
is like a very melodious to our ears. And I would attract him to the kirtan and prasadam.
Yeah.
And
It will work. It will work for some category of people,
will come.
but
and-
the intellectually curious won't come.
He will start in sadhana and slowly he will start listening to
Yes.
the classes and he will have arguments with the senior devotees
Hmm.
and gradually.
Yeah, it will work for some people. Yeah. The thing is, it won't work for all because they want, some more, convincing answer. Many people like it actually in today's time and age. They like food and, prasadam, but I mean, that is a generic answer if we don't have, more. So yeah, like Shashwat mentioned, one thing is, yeah, what is the goal of life? Right? Being good and doing good, that's not goal of life. You do anything, you have a goal. You're studying something, you're doing a PhD, you have a goal. And you want to do something after that. You're going to, you're catching a bus, you have a goal. What is the goal of your life? And ask him, then he starts thinking, okay, I'm being good, how does it help me? So then you answer, okay, to understand the goal of life, you need to know who you are. Do you know who you are? Don't know. Yeah. So who is God? You are saying you're praying to God, but who is God? Don't know that also. So to understand all of that in true perspective, come to these classes. So goal of life, that is the most missing message. Many people don't even know who they are. But again, if you argue like that, they may not like it. But at least this will help define the goal. You are good. Now you come here and learn what is, how you enhance your goodness, like Archit mentioned. So combine these answers. That is how we can help them, right? So we should appreciate that they are good people, right? So there are very few people who are selfless and helping to others. So we should appreciate that quality and add to that how they can enhance further with the understanding of the purpose of life, goal of life. We all understand now, okay, there is Supreme God, and He's all loving, and we can be truly happy when we love Him. We understand, but they don't know. So we should invite that, okay, this will give you clear goal of life, the purpose to life. Yeah. So thank you. So let's read the next one. So Bhagat says, serving the motherland is the highest dharma, and after his studies, he wants to. Okay, one more point I wanted to mention about this. Yeah. So being good also is not sufficient. We heard. How many of you heard about the story of Azamila? So Azamila is a very pious man. It's in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. He's a very pious man, always following religious principles at home. At one point, he saw some, a woman and man, intermingling in a very bad sight. So he saw that and his mind got corrupted. And then he gave up all his good principles. Right? And then it fell back because he doesn't have his so-called religion and goodness, all of that is all at the surface level. He doesn't have deeper understanding, deeper purpose of life. So he was shaken up. So even though you're good, when situations get tough, it might corrupt your mind. So you need to have good association, like-minded people who are spiritually minded, and regular hearing of this wisdom, Gita wisdom, that will maintain your goodness and enhance it. That's also another way to help him, understand the value of this. This knowledge will enhance and stabilize your goodness, whatever you are doing. Make you truly understand what is really good. Yeah. So these two we can use. Goal of life, and the second thing is, helps you not fall from your goodness. So let's go to the second one. So Bhagat says serving the motherland is the highest dharma, and after his studies, he wants to join social service movement that works for developing India. He gets wild whenever India loses cricket match with Pakistan and spends hours arguing with friends how India is always superior. When you invite him to come to Bhagavad Gita classes, he says religion and God are distractions to patriotism and national development. So how will you inspire him to follow the supreme dharma? So again, groups, 3 groups or 4 groups, you can come together and discuss. So we want to convince Bhagat to come to understand Gita. He is a patriot. Oh, supreme dharma. Dharma is basically love for God. That is the highest dharma. So or basically invite him to understand the knowledge of God or Bhagavad Gita. That is. Okay, so let's. Okay, you want to answer now? Let's discuss some of the answers.
Bhagavad talks about not harming animals or humans. So by following Bhagavad Gita, we don't harm any animals or the food that we consume are pure veg and without harming anybody. So
Mhm.
that way it improves the nation. And also recently, there was some survey which which resulted like showed like Indian food is like the best for the human body, which is number one. So
Okay.
that way, by following
Mhm.
Gita, we can.
Hmm. But he will do all of that. He says, I want to be patriot. I want to give all my energy to patriotism, nothing else. So how do you convince him? So we need to touch that point as well.
Recent video by Maya Asra, we can see that in Guwahati, Amol Raposi went to Guwahati and there was one Maharaj. Mr. Maharaj, he was developing the whole village. And he's providing education to the children and he's like showing them the way of life.
Hmm.
And which can be like related to the patriotism and we can convince him. He can still be a patriot and be in the education line as well.
Yes. Yeah, that argument is first. So main point is whatever they're doing is already, so all these are people who have certain good qualities, like the previous one or this one, charity is the previous one. So he is a patriot. He's also good, but how do you add on to it? Yeah, that is in line. Something more convincing is what I'm looking. That's good
Also, we can give
argument.
the example of food for life that our Islam movement is doing.
Hmm.
So every day millions of people are.
Yes, that is
getting
kind of patriotism. Yeah,
That's like patriotism, which is eliminating the problem.
good. Good thoughts. Good answers. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I do have some ideas, like instead of starting with reading something, first of all, ask him like, do you set the boundaries before independence? There is no Pakistan, India, everything is everyone is just all together. So, if you are following your own principles or you are setting the boundaries and thinking only from your end, not from the other end.
Mhm.
So, I will say like, you are setting only a set of your boundaries and not thinking from the other side, may not be the right solution to solve the problem. Maybe there are innocent people, innocent beings on the other side as well, right? We need to see not about Pakistan or India, to think about the whole world, and every living being, right?
Asking him to expand.
Yeah,
But again, we are, that is good. That is correct. What you said is correct.
yeah,
But he's not ready to take that because
yeah. And also,
you are condemning his idea, original idea.
and also based on the patriotism and your whatever India you are speaking about. If you go back to history, what do you call as India before, like the Bharat? What do you mean by a Bharat? It's like
The whole world. The whole world
read
is.
about the Mahabharatam and this kind of a books, and you get realize what you need to do and think about what the book is saying, then you still wanted to do the same thing. You can take on that. So I think once you get to that point where you wanted to read the book, then you started reading, his thoughts might change.
Yes, but thing is, difficulty is for him, it's not the priority. We are trying to make how we can see how he can see that this is a priority. Good. There's whatever you said is correct. The only problem is not ready for it. Yes, yes. We'll discuss that.
he got a good design present
Mm.
and he
Yes.
read the book and listened and I helped him throughout everything. And also when he came out, we helped him how to develop the nation.
Correct.
So, and also the Mahatma.
Mm. That's correct, yeah.
Read Bhagavad Gita. They started, people have read Bhagavad Gita and used as an example.
They are all patriots, but use this wisdom to enhance their patriotism. Yes, in true spirit. To enhance, yes, that is the main thing. Yeah. See, Bhagavad Gita study, whatever you do, it enhances. That is the whole point. Okay, good, very good. That's a good answer. Yeah.
India is always a guru and also the message to spread of that. So one thing that differentiates India from other countries is its richness in spirituality.
Hmm.
So if we
Yes.
work
Yeah.
in developing the culture and
That's good
pushing the
point.
culture and it will attract people all over the world to come to India and experience culture.
Perfect. Very good answer. Give a clap. It's a good one. Hmm. Anybody else? Mudra has the answer. Yeah. Yeah.
Guruji, I would say Bhagavad Gita is a patriotic book. It tells you when to fight for the country and when not to fight for the country.
Yes, that's also good. Yeah, very good answer. Peace conversations. That's a very good one. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, like many of you mentioned, for example, when our Prime Minister Modi went to any country, you know, the first thing he would give to the chief of the country, a copy of Bhagavad Gita. And one time he said, so somebody asked, why you always give Bhagavad Gita to any country you visit? He said, इससे ऊपर मेरे को देने का भी कुछ नहीं है. So this is the highest thing we have to offer from India. So that is the book we are reading here. So that is one, right? So that is so our greatest leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, they all have their foundation based on Gita wisdom. All the freedom fighters and, you know, greatest men, even the greatest scientists all over the world, like Einstein, they all studied Oppenheimer. They all have appreciation for this wisdom, right? So the other point is, so patriot means that's a Kshatriya spirit. See, I want to protect my people, my country, my things. So that is the Raja spirit, kingly spirit. But what Bhagavad Gita adds is Raja Rishi. It will make him a Raja Rishi, Rajarshi. So great kings like Shivaji Maharaj, they're all great kings, great rulers, but they're also having the strong foundation in Gita wisdom. That helped them to be the greatest leaders of the world. Even today, we remember them because of their foundation values based in Gita wisdom, right? So Raja means Rajas, means passion, like patriots, right? We just want to give our life for country. But that's not sufficient unless your knowledge is matured. You know, you have good knowledge of Gita wisdom, right? Then you become Raja and Rishi, both. And those will be the greatest people. They contribute the greatest to the country as well as the world, right? So that is how we can help them understand why they should read. Just patriotism is Rajas, means passion. Add goodness to it. That is through the wisdom of Gita, right? So that will complete the knowledge. Yeah. So that is that. So two things we can say. Our Prime Minister himself, wherever he goes, he gives Gita as the gift to study. Secondly, you just don't want to be passionate. You want to also have the saintly good qualities, Raja Rishi. So these two help him understand that, yeah, this would add value to my patriotism. Yeah. So always say statements that would only enhance their value, whatever they're doing in the right. So everything can be done. What Bhagavad Gita wisdom does is to enhance its valuation, right? So that's what. Yeah, so the final one, let's discuss this one. Rajesh argues that he worships the photo of his mother and father. He says that that is good enough. In fact, he says, mother and father are first God. Why bother about anyone else? What do you feel about his understanding? How will you inspire him to follow the supreme dharma? Maybe like 1 minute, take 1 minute, try to discuss among yourself, and we'll, quickly answer this one. You can also join, the last will join you. So discuss among yourself, and some of you can answer this. So these are questions posed by different people. We want to answer, help them answer properly. Okay. We have to wrap up now. So okay, can we start? Who has the mic? Yeah, please start. Where is the mic? Can anybody pass the mic?
So you can try to inspire them and say that you love your mother and father and respect them. Similarly, you would respect your mother and father's, their mother and father, like grandparents. Like for example, you might have great grandparents. You also would respect them and love them. So in a similar fashion, like you would like to know who is your original father, to go back into this lineage. So that Bhagavad Gita actually gives the knowledge about who is the original father, and that way you can actually be able to know him and love him.
That's a good one. Yeah, very good answer.
Second one is, your mother and father, you love them so much, consider them as first God. So we should try to give them such thing in which you can actually express your love. And that is, spirituality is the best gift that you can actually give to your
Yes,
parents.
the best gift.
So being spiritual yourself, and also inviting them for giving them also will be the best gift.
Yeah, if you truly love them. Very good answer. Yeah. Anybody else?
I would say, God does not have birth and death, but your parents have. We need to know more about
You bet him already. He's not going to listen to you anymore. Yeah, that is truth. That is truth. But you already hurt him, right? Want to enhance their understanding, not should not touch their nerve. Anybody's. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Your mother and father, you are grateful to them, you are serving them in a reciprocation of what they have done for you. So like that, you are getting other things from nature or maybe what God is providing you, like moonlight, sunlight, water, things like
Food,
that.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so to express our gratitude to them as they are our Shakti mother and father, this classes can help.
Yeah. It can help you understand that. Yeah. Very good answer. Yeah. Speak.
Such great parents who are who brought him up really well, and he has that affection for them. Why is he left? Why were others not? Like, if somebody he has come across a friend or someone else who doesn't have same feelings for their parents, why is that so? Maybe knowledge of the parents and understand why they have that feelings and build upon their.
Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah. Good thought. So how even to understand, to understand deeper understanding of that, learn Gita. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. Yeah. Who gave that parents? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, very good thought. Yeah. Anything else? All of these are good answers. Even what you said is also correct. Yeah, so that's the main thing, right? So we all get everything from somewhere. Our parents naturally love us unconditionally without any conditions. And that is why we are grateful and love them. So similarly, in the nature, we unconditionally get so many things. Air we breathe, water we drink, food we eat, none of them can be manufactured in any factory. It has to be continuously supplied. Sunlight we get. So who is giving that? So we are just expressing our love for the Supreme Father. You may not see him, but right now you may not see him. But where are you getting? So Gita is only giving that wisdom about that, your eternal Father. And this parent, as Kushwan mentioned, after this lifetime, they will give you, you will lose them. Even though you love so much, your love has to end abruptly at some point. But the love with God will continue forever. It only will increase, right? So there is no end to that. It's a continuous process over lifetimes. That's how we can tell them. Yeah. Anything else? Final. Good discussion, This is churning our minds. Thank you. We'll end the class here. Archit, we're ending the class.
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.